Charlotte Harbor. Not all the mangroves in Charlotte Harbor, just some key ones. But before I started, I really thought it was important to talk a little bit about mangroves, because they're such an important part of our ecosystem. And those little pamphlets that I sent out came from the aquatic preserve. And I just picked them up last week, I think it was, and so they will be perfect for us. Is that better? Yes. Okay, thank you. I guess I need to get this. So, mangrove forests, like I just said, are important ecosystems here in Charlotte Harbor, in Florida in general. They're adapted to higher salinity in their roots than some plants. Some of them will block absorption of salts, and some of them will actually excrete the salt. Oh, the machine. Or not. Oh, does it have two batteries?
Wait. It's got one battery, it's not responding.
Oh. Okay, technical difficulties. There we go. Oh.
Okay, it just fell asleep because it was waiting for me, that's all. I was boring for a minute and it napped out.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so they thrive in brackish water, which a lot of places that you're going to see mangroves are. Soft, muddy, oxygen-poor soil is their, being able to live and thrive in oxygen-poor soil is a great adaptation for them. Red mangroves, actually I'll go back to show you that, but those are the ones that you're gonna see at the water's edge, just as you know, like when you pull up your kayak up there, or you're on a fishing pier, those are the ones that are gonna be right against the water. The tangled roots, or prop roots, that you're gonna see here, you know, all kinds of stuff going on, and then the prop roots, like I said, and that's why you would seem to think that how it got its name of the walking tree. It looks like that tree is walking along, trying to find its place, and it definitely found it. This is, like I said, a red mangrove. Remember, the first ones you're gonna see, and your handout, the little pamphlet, I think they have great pictures of them. And so this just shows, you know, the waxy dark color leaves. Under the leaf, there's a little bit lighter color. And then these, of course, are the prop roots that are the legs that I was just talking about.
Why aren't they red?
I guess it showed up too much while they were evolving and didn't want that. So the propagules start out as seeds on the tree, but they get germinated while they're on the tree, and they begin growing. So this shows you a little flower here, and the seed will get germinated by the pollen through the air, and then this is the propagule, and these get to be, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sure there's a really good picture in the handout about them. They can get up to, you know, like 9 inches, 6 inches, 9 inches. They look like green beans, right? And you'll probably see them floating along. You know, if you're in the water, they're going to be floating along, and that's what they do. They float with the current until time when they're waterlogged. If they, you know, been in the water too long, then they're going to fall to the ground. Which is what I just said. So the black mangroves would be the next one that appears. And that would be a little bit higher elevation. Remember, in Florida, elevation is in inches, not feet. So, you know, a lot happens with just, you know, a couple of inches, a lot of things change. And these plants have adapted to a little bit different, environment. They have darker leaves, and if you're looking at that handout, you can see that, and bark, so they look different than the red mangroves. And they have these finger-like projections called pneumatophores that are gonna take in the oxygen. So they're gonna be standing up. Remember, the legs of the red mangrove are gonna be down, looking like they're walking out. Well, these pneumatophores are gonna be pointing up from the soil. And also, you're gonna see that the black mangroves actually excrete the salt from the leaves themselves, and I'm sure, again, there's probably a good picture in that pamphlet. The white mangroves are at the highest elevation, and they have no visible aerial roots, so they don't have ones that stick up, they don't have ones that walk away. But they do have a kind of a unique leaf. I know there was a picture of one. So the white mangroves have more of a rounded leaf tip, and they have these glands at the base of the leaf that actually excrete sugar, and the insects are going to feed on that. So what are the values of mangroves? That's the biggie. So after having been through Ian, I'm sure you all understand, well, you probably understood long ago, but the importance of these mangroves to protect from strong winds, from waves, wave action, just from any storm really, and floods. So they're gonna protect, and I know Bruce always tells me, well, if I had a bow, I could get that boat into the mangroves when the storm's coming, and then it'll be safe. That's what you always say, because you wanna get a boat, whatever. And they stabilize the shoreline, get a boat right, help maintain water quality. Ding, 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 that's why we're here, right? So we wanna protect these mangroves. And 80% of Charlotte Harbor has mangroves associated with its shores. The mangroves are protected by Florida state law. What made this have to be the case? Well, as you can imagine, coastline developments, whether it's for, houses, businesses, hotels, whatever, but also the proliferation of seawalls, rather than having a natural border, protecting you from, the waves and whatnot. Exotic plant invaders and poor water quality. So these, maybe next time you see a mangrove, you can hug it. And they are expanding north as much as 3,000 acres more since the early 1980s until 2011. I don't know what that's doing to the ecosystems there, but at least if there's hurricanes and things like that in that area, I would think that would help. Perhaps the animals that live around there